Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Weird World podcast. I'm Dean.
Thanks. I'm Carrie.
And yes, we are starting another season of Hallow Weird World. Cue spooky music. We'll do some spooky
Dun,
music.
dun, dun.
That's okay.
Is that it?
That's not spooky.
Oh.
We'll do some spooky music. Okay, ready? Carrie is going to start us off with, of course, I know very little about it, a ghost story. I think we're going to call it The Haunting of Dudleytown, possibly The Curse of Dudleytown, perhaps The Spectral Invasion of Dudleytown, maybe The Spookification of Dudleytown. Please stop me because I'm running out of things to say.
Did you say The Curse of Dudleytown?
I did. I did say that. I love that you listen.
I was actually trying to do our sound machine.
Oh, okay. Good. No, good vocab, by the way, too. Our sound machine. That's good.
I am the engineer of this here podcast.
Yeah, in every sense.
Yep. Okay.
So let's start Hallow Weird World 2025. Carrie with, let's just go with The Haunting of Dudleytown. I was promised ghost. That's all I know about it.
Well, this curse of this town goes back to
now you're saying curse. Okay.
something very close to my heart.
I'm going to say it's, where is Dudleytown? What state is it in?
Connecticut.
Okay, it's that horrible show with the mom and the daughter that I always hated.
Very good guess.
Is it really?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very good guess.
Okay, what's that show again?
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. Maybe the worst show in the history of television, but
That's Stars Hollow,
Stars Hollow.
Connecticut, but it's probably not far from Hartford, Connecticut. But no, mine's a real life connection. You know, I had a little obsession. Obsession's really too strong of a word.
I'm going to stay with that word.
For the Tudors in England.
Yeah, I'd say obsession.
And then recently I got very enamored with Lady Jane Grey because of the TV show that got canceled called My Lady Jane.
Okay, never heard
And
of it.
then I read the book. Very good. Didn't know all that much about Jane Grey. Now I do.
I know it involved 9 days, and she didn't know what the hell happened to her, and then her head was gone.
Real quick synopsis.
Of Lady Jane Grey? All right, history lesson, go.
Yes. Henry VII had a guy, I don't know what he did, Edmund Dudley, did something in the court of
Oh, he was
Henry
someone's
VII.
like boyfriend.
Henry VII was Henry VIII's father. Everybody knows Henry
that's a
VIII
great
because
guess,
he was fat and he liked to drink and
He
eat.
was unfat until later on. Early on, he was quite the athlete. Go ahead.
Well, Edmund Dudley ran afoul of King Henry, so he had his head chopped off.
Oh.
Then his son, John Dudley, somehow overcomes the scandal of whatever caused his father to lose his head, and he became the Duke of Northumberland.
Okay.
He tried to put his daughter-in-law, Jane Grey, on the throne of England.
Who died? Henry VII?
Henry VIII then became king.
Okay.
And then Henry VIII's son and successor, Edward, became king when he was very young, like 15 or something like that.
I think he was called Edward the Pasty.
And I think they made him seem sicker than he was, but...
In the show? I think he was pretty sickly. Didn't he die as a kid?
I don't think he was always sickly. He died young. I don't know how old he was when he died. But
I think Edward the Syphilitic. He was a young...
No. His older sisters were Bloody Mary and Elizabeth I.
Yikes.
But of course, since
two.
he was a boy, he got to be king because that's how it goes.
That's how it's meant to be.
But so when he died, he should have been succeeded by his oldest sister, Mary Tudor, Bloody Mary.
I was told a brief history.
But he didn't like her because she was Catholic.
Okay.
So,
well, that was a big deal back then.
But then he couldn't appoint Elizabeth because that wouldn't be fair. Because he had to basically skip both of them because Elizabeth wasn't Catholic. Anyway, that's how Jane Grey got appointed. Okay. And I'm sure John Dudley was, putting ideas in his head.
Behind the scenes.
She was queen for 9 days.
Wasn't she like 20? Wasn't she?
He was who?
She, Lady Jane Grey. She
was very young.
Yeah.
She was a teenager.
Oh.
According to the show. I don't know.
I think she was.
She was very young.
So, Daddy, I'm going to be queen. Wait, what's happening here?
And she was queen for 9 days. And then Mary took over. She had the support of everybody because obviously she really should have.
Yeah, but she was Catholic and she was bloody.
Well, the Catholics, they supported her.
Well, of course they did.
So anyway, because of this, John Dudley, who was the mastermind of it, Lady Jane Grey, and her husband, who was John Dudley's son, all got the chippity chop.
Chippity chop. That's what they called it back then,
they
too.
Lost
That's
their
good
heads.
Historical accuracy. Yeah.
So that's
chippity chop.
3 generations of Dudleys lost their heads in England.
A lot of people lost their head or got the chippity chop.
This
in those days
may have become the beginnings of the Dudley family curse.
In Connecticut. So this would have been in the 70s or something like that, right?
Well,
80s?
Edward died in 1553. So that's when Jane...
1550s,
yeah.
Okay.
So...
Okay. Was there a Dudleytown already in Connecticut?
No.
Was there a Stars Hollow already in Connecticut?
I don't think there even is one now.
Damn it.
So then we fast forward almost 200 years to the 1740s.
1740s, starting the timeline.
A man named Thomas Griffiths is married to a Dudley. Abigail Dudley, she's a descendant of the Dudley family in England. They decide to get a fresh start in the wilderness of Connecticut.
Yeah.
And this is deep in the dark forests and hills and
I like that.
rocky stuff.
Rocky stuff, sure. That was
And
evocative.
they decide
Carrie, that's some good language.
this is a great spot.
Okay.
Let's...
Is it inland? Is it on the coast? Did they go? Because most of this stuff was along the coast. They would, it was tough. I mean, think about it. It was impenetrable forest off, 100 feet off the beach in a lot of these places.
It's about 1,000 feet above sea level.
Okay.
I do know that.
A little bit inland.
And it's in the town of Cornwall now.
Oh, it's been like assumed. You know what I mean? Okay.
There were brutal winters because
I
it
bet.
was Connecticut in the 1740s. They had rocky soil. Like I said, the thick forest. So it was very gloomy. Like the forest was so thick, like it seemed like parts of it were always dark. It was very dark and gloomy.
Those were the days.
Mm-hmm. So some more families started to come.
So they're literally like a family moved and started this town?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Usually you think of it like a few, some settlers, but okay. So they were hermits, basically.
No, because fairly soon the Carters came, the
Carters.
Joneses,
You didn't tell me the Carters.
the Brophies,
The Brophies.
more Dudleys, Gideon Dudley.
Are you going to give us the census?
No, by 1753. No, because these are great names.
They are great names.
Gideon Dudley.
Gideon Dudley.
If they get better than Gideon.
I hope so.
Barzillai
That's much better. You did not lie.
Dudley. Abiel Dudley.
We need to bring these names back.
And then Martin
Dick.
joins a few years later. So by 1750, there's this nice little community of people who thought living in a dark, gloomy, spooky forest was a good idea. And then
You're really bad-mouthing Forrest, and I don't know if I appreciate that.
things mysteriously start to go wrong. Crops would just fail. They couldn't keep their crops going, and there was no apparent reason.
Not the rocky soil?
They did have rocky soil, but there were neighboring towns
Sure.
that presumably had the same kind of soil, and their crops would grow with no problem. And there were some people there. I mean, I'm probably overstating it. We'll talk about a family
Don't say that. Just go ahead and overstate it baldly.
who did manage to grow some crops. Livestock would also die mysteriously for no reason. People started hearing strange sounds in the woods at night.
I better start a list. Livestock dying.
Crops dying. Strange sounds from the woods.
Strange wood sounds.
And people would see shadowy figures moving between the trees.
Is this going to be the
Even like
origin
at noon when there shouldn't be shadowy. And,
those may have been Native Americans going, what the fuck are these assholes doing here? God damn it. They bring their disease. They bring their pigs. They call it corn, not maize. This is bullshit.
And because of things like Native Americans and disease and, harsh winters, these times were tough.
Oh, yeah.
People had bad luck all the time. Things went bad. But by the 1760s, they were doing okay, and they had grown with several more families. They even opened a little school for the kids. Abigail Dudley Griffiths, so she was with Thomas Griffiths, the very first settlers. She was the first to suffer from the Dudleytown curse that she must have inherited and brought along
That's the idea?
with
She
her
brought
family
the curse from England?
to Connecticut.
Okay.
She suffered from melancholia, which is
She was depressed.
very bad depression.
Okay.
She became increasingly withdrawn.
Oh,
She would refuse to leave her house, and she eventually would refuse to eat. So she started wasting away until she finally died. This happened very suddenly. She was not a gradual decline. She went from a happy, cheerful member of society to a depressed recluse in just a matter of a few months.
Did she invent anorexia?
No.
Okay.
There was no
I mean, was she
explanation.
Well, she didn't eat, so she got skinnier. That seems like an explanation. Was she eating and still wasting away?
No, but there was no explanation for her depression.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say it was the husband.
Well.
Or a curse.
Let's talk about her husband.
Okay.
Then Thomas Griffiths, her husband, after losing his wife Abigail, starts talking about seeing things. Shadows in the woods. Voices calling his name when no one's there. His neighbors start avoiding him because they think poor old Thomas is losing his mind.
Yeah.
But at the same time, other people were reporting the same kinds of things Thomas was reporting. So was he losing his mind?
So these are like seeming creatures, humans, ghosts? What are they flitting around the forest there?
Shadows.
Shadows. Did they invent the shadow people?
Maybe they did.
Oh my God.
There's the Carter family. They said their youngest son would wake screaming in the middle of the night about the dark man in the trees.
Ooh, oh, you buried the lead. Dark man in the trees. Tell me more.
And the Jones family reported their livestock refusing to graze in certain areas of their property, that their livestock would just, in certain areas, kind of on the edge of the forest, would just stand there and tremble in fear.
Were they looking out to the forest and the people couldn't see what the cows saw? Maybe?
Probably.
Was it the dark man of the trees?
And then
Are you going to tell me more about the dark man of the trees?
And then they probably died.
The cows?
Mm-hmm.
You just made that last part up, didn't you?
No, because I said livestock would die mysteriously. They didn't know why.
Got it. So cows go to the side, go to the edge of the forest, look out in the forest, get all cow scared, and then die. I love it.
All cow scared. Then there would be accidents. People would have accidents. A man named William Tanner, who moved to Dudleytown in the 1770s, he was on top of his barn doing some just routine repairs when he fell. Should have been a survivable fall. It wasn't that far, but somehow he landed wrong and broke his neck. And his wife didn't find him for a few hours. And she also noticed his ladder was several feet away from the barn, and it looked like it had been thrown there.
Ooh. Did anybody see when he fell? Was anybody around with him?
No, nobody was there. His wife must have been, I don't know, tending to the garden for hours.
His wife chucked him off the ladder and said, "Oh my God, I don't know what happened to him, but I'm rid of him."
Well, then Sarah Tanner's widow, she tried to keep their farm going for a while after his death. She thought, I can do this. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
But within a year,
I like that gumption.
She reported some of the same things.
Oh my gosh.
That plagued Abigail Dudley. Overwhelming depression, hallucinations, the feeling of being watched. She endured this for 2 years. And then she was finally found dead in her cabin. And the cause of death was officially listed as natural causes. But the people who last saw her, or the people who saw her, you know, when she died, after she died, said it looked like she had aged 20 years in the last few months before her death.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
I know.
She had slightly grayer hair. This is in the 1700s, right? So she could have been 29. It looked like she was aged 20 years. I mean, because they died a lot earlier than
yes, they did.
That disease.
You know.
Okay, so, is there any connection to like the part of the town or something like that? I wonder. You know, are the people who's being affected? Is there any connection between the people who are being affected by this so-called curse of Dudley?
No, not that I know of. They all just that they all live in Dudleytown.
Huh.
The Brophy family, their oldest son disappeared while out hunting in 1792. So, you know, this is spread out over, decades. They searched for this guy. Don't know what his name is.
Billy Brophy.
Oldest boy
Billy.
Brophy.
Oldest boy. Oh my God! If they name their son, people need to name their first son Oldest Boy. Just Oldest Boy, whatever. Has to be a thing.
They searched for Oldest Boy for weeks.
That'd be a great cult. Oldest boy, first female's oldest girl, second boy, third boy. Oh, I want to start a cult just for that.
They didn't find any sign of him, no little pieces of clothing or, nothing. And even after searching for weeks, and then they did finally find a little pile, a little pack arranged. It was his hunting rifle and his pack, whatever that is. Probably not his backpack, but,
probably kept,
rucksack. I don't
food.
know. Yeah.
And bullets.
Granola bars.
Probably some granola bars. Maybe some kind bars with almonds. They're pretty good.
Well, they found his pack and his hunting rifle just in a neat little pile in a clearing about a half a mile from where he was last seen. Probably, as he said, bye, Ma and Pa.
He said bye, Ma and Pa.
Gonna go snag a deer.
Snag a deer. I love it. Okay.
And his things just look like they had been carefully set there. But no sign of him. And then he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Was it near a pond?
Don't know.
Because I'm thinking maybe he went swimming and drowned.
Then his clothes would have been there.
Yeah, you're right. They always swam naked back in those days.
Or in their britches.
Their britches. Yeah. Huh. Okay. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't seem like he's hitting by a bar because you think you'd find some leftovers. No, they wouldn't necessarily find a leftover bar after the bar got him.
Yeah, there was no talk of bears.
Oh, there's bears
no
there.
talk of wildlife at
Sure
all.
Bears there. There's bears there now.
Except for him going hunting. Mm-hmm. Well, these sound like, except for seeing shadowy figures and hearing voices and stuff like that, over somebody going hunting and disappearing, somebody falling off a barn. Honestly, a woman dying after her husband dies is not. So these all sound like normal things.
Basically, they gathered disconnected events and maybe embellished them a little bit and made it into a cohesive and nonsensical conspiracy because you know what they did, Carrie? They invented the internet. That's what they appear to have done here.
Well, I mean, these people weren't saying Dudleytown is cursed.
I think they might have been.
No, they weren't.
Okay,
they were just trying to live their dang lives. They didn't have time, Dean.
Everybody dying around here. But Brophy, that oldest boy Brophy, disappeared. I don't know what. They're in Connecticut. I'm giving an obvious Connecticut accent.
Well, supposedly, according to people who have researched this more than I have, the rate of bad things happening given the number of residents in Dudleytown was a lot higher than surrounding areas.
I swear to God, I'd have to compare the statistics to nearby towns. I didn't think there was actually, I was just kidding though. So it's a very small town and lots of bad things are happening to these people. And let's not forget the dark man of the trees.
Yes.
Was that what it was? Yeah.
Yes.
That's my favorite. I still need to hear more about that, even if you have to make it up.
Well, so we talked about, crops dying, livestock dying, illnesses, accidents, depression, all that kind of stuff. Here's some other things. Weirdness happening in Dudleytown. Families reported compasses spinning wildly. Clocks would stop working for no reason. Milk would go sour overnight.
That's actually a classic thing, by the way.
What?
You hear that like when bad things are happening to an area and these kinds of stories, you do hear milk going sour. That was a common thing of those times. Yeah.
I wonder why.
I think like the presence of evil or demon or devil was supposed to make milk go sour. Yeah. I think something like that. So I wonder if that gets lobbed in there.
Yeah.
Whether true or not, because it was a common thing.
Even in the winter.
Even the
when
winter,
milk would go sour overnight.
Milk not go sour in the winter?
Not overnight.
Oh, because it's colder.
I mean, if it's hot,
sure,
of course, your milk could go bad.
Sure.
They didn't have refrestiration in the summer, I'm supposing.
They just left it outside.
Yeah. Well, in the summer.
Didn't they? I mean, in the winter, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Stick it in the snow.
Refrigerator cold.
Yeah. That'd be perfect. Mm-hmm. Dogs and horses would refuse to enter specific areas. And if they were forced to for some reason, like grazing or whatever, they would panic and try to flee. A local minister, Samuel Peters, he didn't live in Dudleytown, but he would come to visit and probably, preach to the people there. Sure. He kept detailed records of his visits. And he recorded, quote, an oppressive atmosphere that seems to drain the very life from those that dwell here. He said he felt physically ill whenever he would stay in Dudleytown for more than even just a few hours. He said his horse would tremble and sweat as if in mortal terror the whole time he was there. And he documented the, quote, peculiar madness that seemed to afflict families that lived there. Multiple members of families would simultaneously develop paranoid delusions around something evil watching them from the woods.
If there's not a Native American burial ground somewhere nearby, I'm going to be surprised.
Well, there probably is.
So it seems like it's sort of, so it's not really a curse so much as it's an evil presence. It's like it's a vortex or something like that, where the specific area itself is supernaturally negative, energized. Yeah. I'm just making up, but okay. Huh.
Well, and the peculiar madness that Reverend Peters records, he says these were sudden and dramatic personality changes that happened overnight. It wasn't, wasn't a gradual decline, like I said with Abigail. So by the early 1800s, Dudleytown is basically dying, not because of any economic downturn or anything. People were literally just fleeing.
Word got out too. Probably it's probably hard to get new immigrants into Dudleytown, I bet.
Yeah.
Then, like, well, will I go crazy? You probably will. Will my cows die? For sure.
Especially if Reverend Peters is.
Yes, he's walking around spreading the
people.
word. Do you want to see the dark man in the trees? I do not. You shouldn't go.
Horace Dudley. He's one of the last.
What's his name?
Horace.
Okay.
One of the last direct Dudley descendants living in the area. He just goes completely insane in 1804. Neighbors find him naked, wandering in the woods. He claimed he was hearing voices of the dead coming from the shadows. And they brought him to a local doctor, said, hey, this guy's going crazy and he's naked.
Yeah.
And he died within a few days.
Wow.
Of what?
I wonder.
Don't know.
I wonder if there's something natural.
We'll talk about that.
Lead pipes.
We'll talk about theory.
Lead pipes.
Horace's sister Mary, she had gotten married.
It sounds like you're saying horse.
Horace,
okay.
Horace.
I prefer to call him horse.
Horace's sister Mary had gotten married and moved to New York about 10 years earlier, so she had luckily gotten out of Dudleytown. And somebody notified her. Her husband got word of her brother's death, told her, and within weeks, she started experiencing some of the same symptoms that her brother did.
In New York?
And they haven't seen each other probably in 10 years.
Was she still in New York or did she go to Dudleytown?
She's still in New York.
Wow.
She became very depressed, paranoid, started seeing shadowy figures and hearing voices in New York.
Wow.
She would stare out the window in the direction of Connecticut. I mean, it's not that far, but still, in the direction of Connecticut, muttering about going to the dark place where she belonged.
So, But so it's not just the family, though. You mentioned lots of other families were afflicted. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. She's
a Dudley, though.
How did she get it, though? How did it travel? How did the evil presence go from Dudleytown to New York? That's hard in those days. There were no trains.
There
no
weren't
cars.
trains?
I don't think so. Wagons.
Early 1800s?
I don't know.
Anyhow.
Maybe.
Here, let's talk about another family tragedy.
Oh, God.
By now we're up to 1815.
Okay.
This is the Jones family. Nathaniel Jones, when I alluded to some residents having successful farms, that was Nathaniel.
Oh.
He had a wife and 3 children, and he managed to keep his farm going pretty well. He was even able to expand it, make it even bigger, grow more crops. And then one night in 1815, his wife Elizabeth woke up and found one of their daughter's beds empty. So she wakes up Nathaniel. They search the house and then can't find any sign of her. Then they go outside. Of course, there's a snowstorm. They find 3-year-old Sarah about 50 yards from the house, standing perfectly still in a snowdrift that should have buried her, wearing only a nightgown. She's got bare feet, no coat, nothing, just standing there, staring. And then when they tried to get her to take her back into the house, she started fighting them, saying she needed to go into the dark place where the nice man was waiting for her.
Dark man, the trees.
Pointing to the forest.
This is even better. This is a Stephen King novel.
So when, they brought her in and probably sat on her so that she wouldn't try to go back outside. So in the house, she'd spend hours staring at the woods through the window and talking to imaginary friends that she said lived in the shadow house.
That's where the dark people of the forest live, the shadow house.
Apparently.
Oh my God.
According to Sarah.
This is getting better.
She says they're nice, though.
They're nice at first. They're luring a 3-year-old out. That's not going to end well.
Yeah. 6 months later, Sarah vanishes again.
See?
There's a massive search. They bring searchers from neighboring towns to try to find Sarah. She's 3. She can't get that far, right? Never found her.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Within a week, the entire Jones family packed up everything they could and just left. Left what they couldn't take with them.
They were shaken.
Abandoned their home and their farm.
I wonder if, and they didn't tell anybody, but another kid says, Daddy, the dark man's calling to me. They live in the dark house, the shadow house. And they go, that's it. We're done. We're out. Let's go.
Well, within 5 years of that, it's basically a ghost town.
Wow.
Most of the remaining residents had either died or fled. The last recorded resident left in 1829. And by 1850, nothing was left. There were basically stone foundations, some like little dugout cellar holes.
Oh, so not even the, wooden beat up remains of homes and things like that? It's just all...
No.
Not even a ghost town, just a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Just remnants. And, then the wilderness starts growing back. So that's 1850. It basically sits empty. And then later on in the 1800s, in 1892, a group of hikers, these are well-educated hikers.
Yeah. Back then, all hikers were well-educated. That's a little-known fact.
A doctor, a lawyer, a minister, and a bank manager
that sounds
go
like
out on a hike.
The beginning of a joke.
It does sound like a joke.
I don't know.
They're from Hartford, so maybe is Hartford Yale?
Yes.
They come upon an old...
No. New Haven is Yale.
Oh.
Hartford is Hartford.
Oh, there's no...
University of Hartford.
Where's Harvard?
Harvard is in Massachusetts in Cambridge by Boston.
These are...
but still, I believe you.
References from Gilmore Girls.
Oh, are they?
Because they wanted Rory to go to Hartford, but she went to Yale instead.
Do you mean Harvard? Not Hartford?
Oh, yes.
Because no one wants to get together University of Hartford. Sorry, University of Hartford.
Because I think her grandparents lived in Hartford. That's why.
Oh, okay.
They didn't live in Stars Hollow.
I don't care.
You brought
no
it
one
up.
Else does.
So these hikers from Hartford came upon an old stone foundation and decided, well, let's just make our camp here for the night. Okay. This looks like a good place.
Nice and flat.
I'm assuming they pitched a tent.
Oh, sure. In the morning.
And then they were awakened.
They all did.
In the middle of the night by voices. They heard voices. And it sounded like they were speaking English to them, but it was kind of old-fashioned-y English.
Yeah, like maybe 1750s, 1770s English. Sure.
Colonial English.
Ye, thou.
The one phrase they could absolutely understand with no problem was...
I have syphilis.
The shadows are coming for you all.
Oh my God. So they're being warned by the ghost of
Dudleytown.
Oh my God. Say that again. What's that?
The shadows are coming for you all.
The shadows are coming for you all. That's a great line.
These are not super...
So that's interesting. So the dark things are shadows, kind of, huh?
Yeah.
So, God, they did invent the shadow people. No, because remember, the shadow people are behind you. These are moving around independently. So these are different creatures. I love it. Okay.
Now these are, like I said, well-educated people. They're not scaredy cat yahoos.
No, scaredy cat yahoos.
So they hear strange voices threatening them. What do? They get their lanterns out.
Okay.
And they're going to go investigate.
I love it.
What's going on. And what do they find?
Shadow people, please?
Footprints.
Okay.
All around their campsite. A lot of sets of footprints in all different sizes. I was thinking, it's theirs. Obviously, it's their footprints. Nope. There's men's sizes, women's sizes, very small children's sizes.
With any bare feet?
And
Yeah.
the footprints look like they were down deeper into the soil than they should be.
Oh,
Like they were made by something heavier than a normal human.
Like a heavy ghost. Like a chunky
Which
ghost.
seems counterintuitive.
It does, yeah.
Ghosts
you think
seem
is
like they should be lighter than normal humans.
No weight whatsoever. Huh.
But these heavy footprints were all in a circle around their campsite. So they thought, this is strange.
I'm getting legitimately scared, and I was not there.
We can't explain this. We're going to report this to the local authorities.
Okay.
So they do.
Did they think, like, there are some people here messing with us?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, ghostesses.
I don't know what they thought.
Okay.
But they
I
thought,
would think ghost.
this is significant enough. We should tell somebody.
Yeah.
Then in the early 1900s, so that's 1892. In the early 1900s.
What happened to the police? Did the police come out and check? Did they investigate? What happened to the investigation? Was there a conviction? Was there at least an indictment?
No, none of the above.
Ghost harassment.
Then in the early 1900s, more reports start coming into these local authorities from other visitors to the area. Hunters reported that their traps were being moved and arranged into perfect geometric patterns overnight.
Ooh, we're getting a little Blair Witchy at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not by them. They're not doing that.
No. Why would they do that?
Surveyors, I guess, I don't know what surveyors are coming to. Do surveyors have something to do with map making and stuff? I don't know.
And where the land is and where the property lines and.
Well, that's what I'm saying for
like
property
that.
lines and stuff, but nobody's moving here.
That seems weird that there'd be surveyors out there in the 1900s.
I know.
That would have been done a long time ago.
But anyway, they're complaining that their instruments would malfunction when they tried to work in the area. And then in the
there does seem to be some kind of a magnetic thing going on here.
Compasses, clocks.
Clocks.
Animals get weird, right? With magnetic fields
animal
and stuff
senses.
like that. Yeah.
Sure. Let's go with that. Why not?
In the 1920s and 30s, people have cars, so even more people are able to come to the area because it's starting to get a reputation.
Yeah.
And so
really? So it's like a tourist, a spooky tourist.
Yep.
Okay.
And so also people are coming to thinking they're going to do research. They want to get to the bottom of what's going on in this abandoned Dudleytown. So one visitor, his name is Dr. William Clark. He's a psychology professor from Yale, and he visited in 1928. He was basically studying rural folklore and its psychological effects, and he was skeptical. He was basically trying to debunk the legends of all the strange goings on at Dudleytown. He brought a team of graduate students and even some kind of early recording devices, thinking he was going to figure this one out. His initial reports were very dismissive observations and, calling things mass hysteria and stuff like that. And then 6 months later, when he filed his final report, it was quite different. He said he experienced persistent auditory hallucinations.
He thinks the hallucinations. What if they were not?
Yeah. He heard colonial era music.
Okay.
Hymns being sung by multiple voices coming from the forest.
I'll take his word for it that he knows what those sound like because he was a folklorist. So, because I would not be able to identify a colonial era.
I wouldn't either, and I would think the hymns are the same. But maybe they're not. I don't know.
There's new hymns.
Yeah. He reported temporal displacement experiences.
So he lost time, or?
Yeah. He said on the second night he was there, he woke up and saw. Oh, no, he didn't lose time. Somebody else is going to lose time. But no, this is where he's like displaced in time. On the second night, he said he woke up and saw colonial era buildings with like smoke coming out of the chimneys and people in colonial clothing going about their daily business.
Well, that's time slippy.
Yeah.
That's time slips. Okay.
He said this vision lasted for several minutes and then just faded away. And he once again saw the empty ruins and
time slip is one of my favorite subjects.
Trees. Mine
I really
too.
want to have a time slip.
I do
as
too.
long as I come back.
Yeah.
And don't get murdered while I'm there.
Yeah.
In the olden days. I want to have a time.
Time travel is one of my favorite things.
Time slips aren't really time travel. At least that's not the idea behind them. But that's a different story.
Sure. He understood, because he's a psychologist, he understands hallucinations,
Sure. Let's go with that.
sleep deprivations, all that kind of stuff. But he said what he experienced really couldn't be explained by any conventional psychological theories. He really didn't know
time slips
what
cannot.
had happened to him.
Auditory hallucination. So he the cluster of symptoms, he said that didn't really fit with. What's this? The 20s? When was this?
28.
1928. Okay.
His final report recommended that the area be studied further, but he also issued a warning that there was a risk of mental instability for anybody that went there for any amount of time.
So come here at your own risk.
Don't
Caveat.
Spend the night is what I think he means by that.
And his hair went completely white in one day.
In the 30s, other investigators tried to do the same kind of things as Dr. Clark and reported many of the same experiences, seeing shadowy figures moving through the trees during the day, hearing the sound of children laughing, and the sensation of being watched by hostile, intelligent presences.
Wow.
Now the presences are intelligent. In 1934, a photographer named Robert Chen visited the area to take photos for a book about abandoned New England settlements. He was there for 5 days, photographing everything. He wanted to photograph every remaining structure and foundation and all that kind of stuff. And when he didn't report feeling anything weird. He was fine. But when he got back to his
hair
dark
turned
room,
completely white. Please
No.
tell me someone's hair is going.
and when he processed his photos, about half of the photos had translucent visible
No
figures in the
way.
background.
I love it.
People dressed in colonial era clothing
He had time slip photography.
going about their daily activities.
Oh my God, that's the first I've heard of time slip photography.
Kids playing, hanging up laundry, gardening. And when he showed his photos to local historians who had, documents and
Like what,
photographs and
dress
stuff like
lines
that,
and stuff like that.
they were able to identify
No,
a few of the people in the photographs.
that's oldest boy Brophy.
Abigail Dudley. They didn't say oldest boy Brophy,
Okay.
but Abigail Dudley was one of the women hanging up laundry. William Tanner was there.
Billy Tanner.
And in the background of multiple shots was a small girl matching the description of 3-year-old Sarah Jones.
Sarah Jones, early photo bomber.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Doesn't seem like they were positive about
and
that
was Sarah
one.
still 3 years old?
She was a little girl.
See, that implies that she died at 3. Kind of.
I think she probably did.
Poor Sarah.
So after this visit, the strange phenomenon seemed to get more and more. More curiosity seekers were coming to the area. And the new landowners, there was a new landowner, I think in like 1924 or something, somebody bought it. And they were getting super annoyed with trespassers coming, camping out, leaving stuff behind, and sometimes needing to be rescued if they got lost or hurt. Some visitors reported having psychological breakdowns after visiting. The local sheriff would have to respond more than once to incidents where people were found wandering around in a state of just, complete mental collapse.
And their hair completely white. Go on.
Probably, saying they had been chased by colonial era ghosts.
Oh, so now the ghosts are getting nasty. Before they're just photobombing. Now they're
Or
being mean.
that they had seen visions of their own deaths.
Ooh,
That's a new one too.
Yeah. God.
In 1969, the property is acquired by a group of basically philanthropists, local people.
Where is it? A banker, a lawyer, a doctor, and a minister?
No, but it does include Yale researchers
Okay.
and just people who live in the local area.
Okay.
And they name their little association the Dark Forest Entry Association.
Dark Forest Entry Association.
And their
Interesting.
goal is to preserve the natural forest.
Okay.
And they
Doesn't
need to
sound like it, but okay.
They want to stop people from trespassing. They put up signs, no trespassing. They hire some security, and they say they're going to prosecute anybody who trespasses on their land.
Yeah.
All that does is make people want to come
course
there
it does.
even more. So they end up having to put up fences and gates and barbed wire, and then as years go on, when alarm systems things cameras and, much later on.
But this ostensibly has nothing to do with the spookiness and the worry about people getting insane and hurt.
No.
It's, just to protect the forest.
Or
was that the cover story and they really were trying to, protect people or even just study the phenomenon themselves?
But people are dicks. I'm sure there was a fair amount of graffiti and, people just doing
trash,
bad stuff.
Water bottles.
But again, we know what this does. It makes people want to come there more. You say you can't go there, then of course people are going to want to go there even more. So what comes to town? I mean, what comes to the world? What comes to the United States? Ghost hunters. They're and
there
TV
by the
shows
dozens.
And paranormal.
I felt something. Get the FLIR camera out. We always have to have a FLIR camera.
Paranormal investigators. Some paranormal investigator named Paul Morrison from Boston manages to get past the new fencing and security measures and spends 2 nights there in 1987 before he got caught. He published his experiences in some paranormal research journal.
It was called Paranormal Research Journal.
And
4.
he claims he also experienced time loops. Well, not also, because I should say his time loops are different. It's not a time slip. He called them periods where he would find himself repeating the same action over and over again without realizing it.
He got Groundhog Day.
He said one was where he spent 20 minutes walking toward like a certain foundation or whatever he was going to go look at. And when he came to, like, realized what he was doing, he had just been walking in place for 20 minutes instead of actually walking toward, I don't know if you can call this a time loop. Maybe he was doing mushrooms while he was
He could have been doing mushrooms.
I don't know what doing mushrooms does to you. But
what's the thing? A non-something player who just had his, on a video game, who just had his head against the wall and didn't know how to turn around. Something like, he could have been like that.
Yeah. I don't know. He also said he encountered shadow figures that he was able to interact with. Oh. And he was able to follow them. They directed him to an area where he found colonial era artifacts. Pottery shards, metal buttons, pieces of old tools, and he said they were just lying there, like they had recently been left there. They weren't buried in anything. They weren't covered in, plants and stuff. And the area had already been gone over by like archaeologists and people, and they had cataloged items and taken them away. So it was very odd that he was finding things.
So the shadow people are ghosts. And this is the stuff they have left from their lives. And they said, you know what?
They brought them out and
let's
said,
give it away.
Yeah.
This guy seems like a nice guy. I mean, he's been standing in place for 20 minutes. Let's help him.
This will be fun. He wasn't the only one who reported finding things there. Other people said they came across things just sitting on the ground. In 1995...
Rocks, dirt clods. It was weird.
In 1995, a group of students from University of Connecticut were able to get through the gates and locks and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds like these gates and locks are not well done.
And all you need is one of those cutters.
Yeah.
But anyway, they wanted to go camp out. 3 out of the 4 students described feeling overwhelmed by depression and paranoia. They said they heard voices and felt like they were being watched from behind the trees.
The other one was already depressed.
No, the other one, she apparently was fine there, but when she came back, felt like a shadowy presence had followed her.
I was going to say, maybe.
And came with her.
Yeah.
And her roommate said she just wasn't the same person.
Ever?
Left. She ends up quitting school, leaving within 6 months, and moving back home. And apparently she had a major
breakdown,
psychological breakdown. That's all I'm going to say about her, because I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So you talked about magnetic fields and all that kind of stuff. There is some kind of researcher. I tried to look her up, couldn't find her, so I'm not entirely sure.
Is she a Long Island medium?
But
does she have a huge haircut and no soul?
I don't know. But she suggests that the area might be an environmental psychological trigger zone.
Okay.
That there's some combination of environmental factors, like remember the whole Havana sound machine thing, the infrared sound, Also, Dyatlov, is that what it's called? Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah. Some people think it might have been something to do with that.
Yep, with the mountains.
The formation, yeah. But that's something worth investigating.
The sound kind of messing with your inner ear,
the
right?
Mountains, whatever. The sounding mountains are just right, and just the wind goes, okay. But you wouldn't think, those don't typically...
No.
Like it wouldn't have explained the person who was back in New York, and it wouldn't explain the
seeing colonial era people. It doesn't explain everything. But
the auditory stuff and the feelings of unease and depression, maybe.
Absolutely. The combination of infrared sound, electromagnetic fields, unusual atmospheric condition caused by the topography, like the Dyatlov Pass thing, could cause specific psychological responses in susceptible individuals, because obviously not everybody who lived there.
Would people be more susceptible to that than other people?
I don't know.
Huh, okay. Something we need to know more
But
about.
she also says that's a theory, but the actual reported things that people experienced more closely match historically themed dissociative episodes, mental breakdowns that were specifically related to colonial history and colonial themes, rather than what you would expect because of the environmental factors, like we just said.
Yeah.
So that's why
exactly. I mean, colonial
people are having. She's saying she doesn't know, because what people are reporting, they're having mental dissociative breakdowns
that center on seeing things in history. That's a very specific type of breakdown.
I don't know if that's a thing.
She may have made that up.
So, I mean, they did have poor soil. Things were harsh. There were economic pressures.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about what maybe really was going on.
Oh, I don't know if we want to do that.
Oh, you don't?
Halloween. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Well, so,
I think it's ghost.
Things aren't going well in Dudleytown with a lot of people. Things are happening. Livestock are dying. Farms don't do well. Somebody gets sick. Somebody dies. Somebody goes crazy. Somebody falls off a barn.
Everywhere.
And then just like ghost stories start to grow up around the abandoned structures, right?
You're looking for a reason for these this run of... Otherwise, you'd call it bad luck, but
exactly.
You look for a cause
just
for it.
as a way to explain it and process it. And then there's the power of suggestion, right? With people going there. I mean, storytelling, people embellishing, wanting to tell a better story than the last guy.
And 3-year-old Sarah, that could have been a real person. Couldn't it have been who lured her out there?
Maybe.
I'm just throwing that out there.
And then mass hysteria. So, some people say, no, it can't be that, because these stories are so consistent and they go back for hundreds of years. And
they're consistent because they coalesce. That's why they're allegedly consistent. And usually what happens is that the stuff you go back, you fit them. You fit the current part of that. You fit the past stories to the current dominant motif is what happens in those kinds of things.
Well, I got a lot of these more spooky kind of stories from a certain source. And, every website you go to will talk about people dying, falling off their barns, going crazy, all of that kind of stuff. All of those stories.
Shadow people.
All of those shadow people, all those stories exist.
Okay.
But some of the things and the people mentioned that I mentioned, like the photographer and the paranormal, or the researchers, I could not find them.
If you tell me this is all made up, I am going to lose it. It's Halloween.
I mean, these people really existed.
Yeah.
The residents really existed.
How about like Robert Chan?
I could not find.
Well, there's not going to be records of a 1930s photographer.
Why not?
I don't know.
If he took pictures, why not?
I don't know.
And maybe I just didn't look hard enough.
I don't think you looked hard enough.
I don't know.
I'm saying you didn't look hard. I'm conclusively saying that you did not look hard enough. Robert Chan took pictures, and Robert Chan, in those pictures, Robert Chan had time slip photography.
Well, the people who debunk these stories say there was nothing, there are no mysterious supernatural forces. People left Dudleytown because the farmland was lousy, and people started moving west, and there was more opportunity in other places.
Is what they thought after they got scared shitless by shadow people.
Yeah. And Cornwall, the town around it, their population had also dropped by half to only 834 residents. So I don't know.
Still, I mean, that's Cornwall. The original name was Mayswell. So it makes sense that they would. I have nothing after that. Go ahead.
Somebody, Reverend Gary P. Dudley.
Gary P. Dudley.
He thought, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Is there a Dudleytown curse? Mm-hmm. Was my family, I'm assuming he's a descendant of the Dudleytown Dudleys. Sure. He is.
He has to be.
He wanted to know, were we really descendants of the Tudor England Dudleys? And he couldn't find any connection.
He doesn't have
this was
.com skills that you do. So.
I was going to say, he was doing this in 1999.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can do it now. It'd take 25 minutes.
Didn't have Ancestry.com.
No.
So he should go back to it and try it now. Maybe he is.
I'm blaming him.
And, he debunked some of the stories of some of the more salacious deaths and things. Who knows?
Sure, there's going to be some embellishment, but the core kernel of the truth there is that there were dark people in the forest. They lured people away. They killed your cows. They caused you to go crazy. And sometimes they followed you home and caused you bad things to happen even there. Mm-hmm. That's unassailable.
Well, and you did allude to maybe it being some sort of portal or something?
Or something like a vortex, like a specific where a place on the world where, the Bermuda Triangle is, as we know, complete nonsense. But something like that where there's bad juju, bad energy, something like that. And that's explained by what that woman was talking about.
And that's what a lot of people think, that the entrance to the dark forest is that.
Yeah, and it could be supernatural. There's a gateway to hell.
Yep. Well.
Nearby. That's where, oh my God, if that's where Sarah went, I'm going to be sad.
I know.
I hope she didn't go there.
I'm hoping
Hopefully she just went to a nearby town and lived happily up. She married later on when she was of age. Now she was 3. She was raised by a nice family. She had children. She had a good life.
I'm hoping that particular story isn't true. But so it might have all started in 1926 when a guy named Edward Starr published his History of Cornwall because for some reason he included 2 pages of fictional stories about Dudleytown residents. And that book didn't get any attention. Nobody cared about it. It sounds super boring. History of Cornwall.
Okay. The people in Cornwall going, I don't think I...
But in the early 1970s, a Connecticut couple...
No, you're going to ruin it for me.
Got a hold of it.
Oh, my God.
Who's this Connecticut couple, Dean?
Oh, my God. It's the goddamn Warrens. This is all bullshit. They made it up.
They're
cashing in. They're the worst human beings that ever lived.
They videotaped a Halloween special from Dudleytown in the early 70s, and they declared it demonically possessed.
Of course they did. That's every place in the world was demonically possessed.
Your buddy Ed said Dudleytown was, quote, controlled by something terrifying.
Yeah, him, a pedophile and a thug named Ed Warren. Yeah, okay. God damn it.
Yeah.
That just...
It's a good story.
It's a great story. Why did you ruin it?
It's nice and creepy because I gotta ruin everything. That's my job.
Damn it.
I don't believe.
Did he make everything up? Wait, did all this stuff come from Edward Starr's 1926 book that Warren's
probably not. He had probably heard stories passed down over the years.
No, I mean, but other sources other than Edward Starr's 1926 book. I mean,
I don't know.
Robert Chin was in 1934. That's after Edward Starr wrote that book, and so was that 1930s other investigators, and so was the guy in 1969, the Dark Forest Entry Association, which sounds kind of gross.
I think that really exists.
Okay, and the paranormal investigator in 1987, I believe.
Yeah,
who
I don't know.
Stood in place for 20 minutes and then freaked out and then realized, oh, I'm on shrooms. I need help. I choose to believe all of that is true.
Like I said, I didn't try to verify every story and source, but the few things that I looked up that were from a
stop talking, stop it.
Point where you'd think I would find something. I didn't find it.
This is such a downer.
Sorry,
This
but
is
also
so sad.
anybody who thinks, "Oh my God, this is the best scary story in the world."
I wanted to go there.
I'm
until
going to
now.
go to Google
It was gonna
and
be
I'm going to
on-
look it up. They would find the same thing that I did.
It still might be on the Weird World list of our
Fun
travels
places to
across
go.
the country. Wheeling, West Virginia, or not.
Yeah, you still can't get in. It's still closed
I'll
off to
figure it out.
visitors.
Bolt Cutter's scary. You said yourself, it's not that hard.
And people do live there now, live nearby, and they don't want you anywhere near there.
They might.
Leave
I can be pretty charming.
Dudleytown alone.
No, I'm going to Dudleytown.
That's also another reason.
What?
'Cause but if you live in the area and you could go there, you already know, I would think, right?
I don't know what that means.
They know that if they live there, we're not telling anybody something
Oh,
that if they could quickly
No, we're not
plan a
advocating
weekend and go there. Yeah.
people cut the fences
Yeah.
and walk into
That's what I'm
this house.
saying.
We're definitely not advocating that.
Yeah.
We might do it, but we're not advocating that other people do it.
I'll tell you, there are many other places that I would put on my list before
Whatever.
going to Dudleytown.
Yeah.
I think
You really had me for
it's-
94% of that.
you know, it's probably beautiful.
God damn it. The Warrens, they ruin everything. Well,
I knew you were going to love that, so I
Yeah.
saved it for the last.
Thank you.
Your favorite part is the Warren part. My favorite
No,
part is
my least favorite part is the Warren
I know,
part.
I'm joking, but my favorite part is the Lady Jane Grey connection.
Yeah, of course it is. As you said, obsessed with the Tudors. Well, thank you, Carrie, for starting us off on another season of Hallow Weird World.
You're welcome, Dean.
Bring you something a little more menacing maybe next time.
Oh, you weren't menaced by the shadow
I
people
actually was menaced
and
for
the
quite a bit of it.
colonial era ghosts?
About the middle 75%, or until toward the end. I was pretty mad. I was getting spooked out there.
Yeah.
Spooked out, surprise. And then you ruined it. So
Sorry.
Thank you again.
Well, enjoy your spooky time.
Until next time.